Right, here we are at Phrae, and here's Chuiwan scaling the steep staircase to enlightenment at one of Phrae's big hilltop or mountaintop temples on the outskirts of the city. The city itself is 1,123 years old, one of the oldest cities in Thailand, and this is one of the most significant Buddhist temples. You go up there to make merit, because we all know that you can never have enough merit. It's like having money in the bank account. The more merit you have, the better life you'll have in your next reincarnation. So Rennie and Auntie Oi bought a couple of little bowls of baht, single baht pieces, and went along this big line of alms bowls, dropping baht into the bowls, along with a whole pile of other people from the town who come up and donate on a regular basis. Then we set off to have a look at this stately old mansion. It's an old government house, 100 and something years old, and the governor and his wife lived here, and it was their residence as well as their place of business. He used to conduct all the government business there. And he ran a torture chamber and jail down in the basement, a bit like an old version of Psycho. And there's one of the poor wretches that was incarcerated in the basement, sitting in the stocks, looking a bit depressed. And this other guy, he's wrapped up in a huge bamboo ball, and the elephants used to play football with him, and then they'd crush him to death. And then, another form of getting rid of someone, and this is interesting because it shows Thai Buddhism's attitude towards the violation of one of their precepts, thou shalt not kill. So they've set up this screen in front of the prisoner, and the whole thing in theory is that you shoot the gun at that little rectangle in the middle of the screen. So that way you're not actually firing at the prisoner, you're firing at the rectangle, but of course the effect is the same. The bullet goes straight through the screen into the prisoner. And probably that guy with the red flag, he must wave the flag when it's time to fire the gun. So, and there's the poor wretch in his coffin. And God knows what his poor, wretched, long-suffering wife thought of all this, but it didn't really matter because she got the boot in the end because she failed to produce a son and heir. So she got kicked out and took up residence in this other mansion, which I thought was a nicer place anyhow, and she lived a long happy life and didn't have to listen to screams of agony from the torture chambers all day. And here we are at Thailand's biggest teak house, and it was difficult to get a shot of the house, but because it was all surrounded by trees, so we had to get Rennie to pose next to one of the 135 huge teak trees that have been converted into pillars, and they support the weight of the house. And then we've made another remarkable discovery. Just outside the teak house is the Down Under Dunny, which Chuiwan said is a project that was designed by Thai students who'd come down to Australia to visit, and were so impressed by our Down Under Dunnies that they recreated the project right outside the teak house, which is a bizarre contrast because you've got this stately old building with this strange toilet, a real culture clash. But then again, Thailand's a bit like that. It's a land of bizarre contrasts. So all in all, it was a good, fun-packed and very educational and illuminating day in Phrae.